During this week's lesson, we are going to be taking a look at some Halloween poetry and adding body percussion to it. What is body percussion? Body percussion is using your body to make percussive sounds. Body percussion includes clapping, snapping, patting, stomping, and many other sounds that you can make. Check out the spooky video and try snapping when you see the red circles. If you're feeling adventurous, assign other body percussion for the other shapes. Instructions for this activity are: Step 1. Read through the following poems and choose one. Step 2. Using the circles, underlines, and rectangles provided, click and drag them to the words in the poem. Step 3. Practice performing the body percussion you chose while you read the poem. And then Step 4. Record a video and submit when you are ready. Here's our code that we'll be using for body percussion today. Circle will go around the words that you will snap. A rectangle will go around the words that you will clap. Underline the words that you will pat, and put a triangle around the words that you will stomp. For example, on this one, the poem reads, "Once in Transylvania, a long, long time ago, there were 3 ugly monsters, a-haunting they would go. The vampire and werewolf were hungry for a bite, so the skeleton shared his ribs, and they partied through the night." So I see I have these different images at the bottom. The circle is going to stand for snap, so I'm going to click and drag. Oops. I'm going to click and drag to take these circles and put them on the things that I would like to snap. So maybe I'm going to snap on Transylvania, and maybe I will snap on the word 3. Maybe it'll always be that like third word kind of. And then anything that's a noun, maybe like the monsters, vampire, werewolf, skeleton. I think I'm going to clap on those words. Monsters. And then let's see, words that I will pat. I'm going to pat all of these words. I'm going to do each word. So I'll put this all the way up like this. Then let's see. Maybe I'll do hungry and haunting. Now I didn't really have a plan of which words I was going to highlight with different body percussion sounds, so we can do a lot of different choices. So the skeleton shared his ribs. I think that word should be emphasized. And they, maybe I'll put partied through the and then night, I think, would end on a nice big stomp. Let's see. Okay, so now I need to practice the patterns that I came up with. Again, I need to remember that circles mean a snap, rectangles mean a clap, underlines mean a pat, and triangles mean a stomp. You can pick whichever order you'd like. Notice I didn't put a box or a triangle or a circle or an underline on every single word. Don't do all of them. It's going to make it too hard. Let's see if I can do this one. Once in Transylvania, a long, long time ago, there were 3 ugly monsters, a-hunting they would go. The vampire and the werewolf were hungry for a bite, so the skeleton shared his ribs, and they partied through the night. Whoops, night. Partied. So that part I messed up a little bit, so I want to make sure I get that right. Partied through the night. Whoops. Okay, I keep wanting to pat there, so I'm going to change this one from a triangle. I'm going to make it an underline because that's what I keep wanting to do. So I can change that. Let's try it again. Once in Transylvania, a long, long time ago, there were 3 ugly monsters, a-hunting they would go. The vampire and werewolf were hungry for a bite, so the skeleton shared his ribs, and they partied through the night. There we go. Partied through the night. Partied. Oh, I like that better. I'm going to do partied, and then through them, I'm going to have a square around each one. I like this better. So it'll be partied through the night. That's it. Once in Transylvania, a long, long time ago, there were 3 ugly monsters, a-hunting they would go. The vampire and werewolf were hungry for a bite, so the skeleton shared his ribs, and they partied through the night. Cool. So once you have your changes made, again, you only need to pick one of the poems. Once you have the changes made, you're going to submit this to me. What I would recommend doing is taking a piece of paper and writing down what you have here, because you can find this in your Google Drive, but it's a little tricky to do. Once you have it saved, you can open up a tab and search for this. It's called Halloween Poetry, and if you search Halloween Poetry in your Google Drive, which you get to your Google Drive by going to this little dot here on the page, and then clicking Drive, and then you can search Halloween Poetry. And if you search that, your lesson should come up, and you'll be able to get back to that. Okay, if you don't think that you're going to be able to do that, you might want to write down your answer with all the circles and triangles and underlines and squares so that you can come back to this when you make your recording later. Let me show you the poems that you can choose from. Here's one. Monster stew, monster stew. What do you think a monster would chew? Bat and rat and a worn-out tennis shoe. That's what you put in monster stew. Here's your other choice. Trolls in their holes, zombies on the run, ghouls in the graveyard, all are having fun. Night is almost ended, soon they will be done to run, run and hide at the rising of the sun. Then your third choice, at the midnight dance, the monsters prance. They leap and they twirl and they howl. The skeletons clatter 'cause it really doesn't matter as the ghouls and the black cats howl. So again, you'll take these at the bottom and you'll click and drag them to certain words. You don't need to do every single word because that's going to make it really, really hard. Should you do just one? Probably you need to do more than one. But you need to at least include a few words from each line with a body percussion. Okay. The next steps, you'll need to practice your rhyme. Make sure you practice it before you submit this so that you really get the hang of it. Notice Mrs. Scannell did it 3 or 4 times before I moved on. That way I'm ready so that when I make the video recording, it will look and sound really good. So you're going to practice it. Does it work well with the words you chose? Is it too hard or too easy? I had to make some changes so that mine worked. Finally, when you're done, you're going to do a recording of this in a separate assignment. Record the video of your performance in Schoology or separately and upload it to the Record This section of this week's work. It does not have to be memorized, and you can look at your slides or write down the poem on a piece of paper to look at while you record. To recap, create body percussion to go with the poem you choose. Then write down your poem on a separate sheet of paper. Record your poem with body percussion and upload it to Schoology. You can also search for your poem in Google Drive by searching Halloween Poetry to find your assignment. Send me a message if you need more help. I'll show you how to make the video on your live lesson this week.